It's every kid's dream to be a professional athlete, playing on the biggest stage in front of thousands of cheering fans. The rush that goes through your body as you step on the field or the court is unexplainable. It's not all about the rush of the game though. It's mostly about the money they get paid to play the game. Some of the athletes on this list of top 10 richest make huge amounts of money, more than we can comprehend. Before we get into this video, hit that like button and subscribe to join the luxury community. Also make sure to hit the notification bell to stay up to date on whenever I drop a new video. If we can get this video to 75 likes, I'll be giving away a $25 Amazon gift card to one lucky subscriber. Also comment down below for a chance to be featured as one of 5 comments on my next video. Now, let's get into the top 10 richest athletes. Starting off at honorable mention, we have NBA All-Star Shaquille O'Neal, also known as Shaq, who has a net worth of over $400 million. Shaq is a retired NBA player, entrepreneur, and TV host. Throughout his 19 seasons in the NBA, he earned around $292 million in salary alone. During that time, he also earned another $200 million just from endorsements. Even though he's been retired for around 10 years, he still earns around $60 million per year from endorsements and various other business endeavors. Shaq rose to fame after an outstanding college basketball career at LSU, and then was the first overall pick in the 1992 NBA draft to the Orlando Magic. That year, he was voted Rookie of the Year and an All-Star starter. That had not been done since Michael Jordan. The Lakers then offered Shaq a 7-year, $121 million contract after he won an Olympic gold medal with the USA team in 1996. On the Lakers, he won the NBA championship that year and went on to win the next 2 years in a row. He was then traded to the Miami Heat in 2004, where they offered him a 5-year, $100 million contract. Some of his business endeavors include a March 22, 2019 decision to join the board of directors of Papa John's Pizza, where he will earn $8.25 million in salary and stock over 3 years. He is also investing $840,000 of his own money to buy 30% of a 9-unit franchise of Papa John's in Atlanta. For many recent years, Shaq's primary residence was an enormous 12-bedroom mansion in Orlando. The main home is 35,000 square feet and features a 6,000 square foot indoor basketball court, 17-car garage, and 10-foot privacy wall. He ended up listing the house for sale in May 2018 for $28 million. He then lowered the price in January 2019 to $22 million. He ended up selling for around $16.5 million in January of 2021, which is a steal for that property. Coming up at number 10, we have professional tennis player Roger Federer. Roger is a Swiss-born tennis player whose net worth is over $450 million. Throughout his 23-year professional career, he has earned over $129 million in winnings. On top of the winnings, he has earned at least $600 million just from endorsements. He is on pace to be one of the few athletes to break the billion-dollar mark. Federer has had an outstanding career so far, winning Wimbledon 8 times, the Australian Open 6 times, the French Open once, and the US Open 5 times in a row. He has also won the Grand Slam tournament 20 times. In 2018, Roger signed a 10-year, $300 million contract with Japanese apparel brand Uniqlo. Between June 2018 and June 2019, he earned $94 million, so he is raking in the cash. At number 9, we have retired professional soccer player David Beckham with a net worth of over $450 million. Over his final 6 seasons in the MLS with the LA Galaxy, David Beckham earned an insane $255 million, including salary, endorsements, appearances, and licensing. His annual Paris Saint-Germain salary was $50 million. Outside of playing soccer, in May 2019, Beckham, through his investment vehicle, Beckham brand holdings, spent $50 million to buy out team investor Simon Fuller, who is the creator of American Idol. The purchase price valued the team alone at $150 million. In 1999, David and his wife Victoria Beckham bought what became their most famous home for $3.3 million. The property was set on 24 acres of land and was given a $4 million renovation and was subsequently dubbed Buckingham Palace by the media. In 2007, the couple bought a 6-bedroom, 10-bathroom Beverly Hills mansion for $18.7 million, which they ended up selling in 2018 for $33 million. They also own a $4 million house in the south of France, as well as a mansion in West London's Chick Holland Park neighborhood that they bought for $41 million in 2013. At number 8, we have professional soccer star Cristiano Ronaldo with a net worth of over $460 million. He is a Portuguese soccer player, a product ambassador, and an entrepreneur. In any given year, he easily earns $100 to $150 million. As an example, in 2020, he earned $120 million, roughly $70 million from salary and $50 million from endorsements. Cristiano Ronaldo is on pace to earn more than $1 billion in his career from salary and endorsements. In November of 2016, it was revealed that Ronaldo had signed a $1 billion lifetime deal with Nike. Specific terms are not known, but it's believed that the deal came with a $100 million signing bonus. At number 7, we have a legendary professional basketball player, Lebron James, with a net worth of over $480 million. Every year, LeBron earns $40 million in NBA salary and roughly $55 million in endorsements, which equals roughly $100 million per year in earnings. During his first 10 years in the league, he earned just over $126 million in salary alone and $326 million in endorsements. He recently signed a 2-year extension with the Lakers for $85 million. He made some good coin from owning 1% of Beats by Dre, which then sold to Apple for $3 billion, so his 1% was worth $30 million. LeBron signed his first Nike endorsement deal at the age of only 18, and that paid $90 million over 7 years. Today he earns roughly $20 million per year from Nike. In 2015, he signed a lifetime endorsement deal with Nike that ultimately could be worth up to $1 billion. It's predicted that within roughly 4 years, LeBron is expected to join the $1 billion athlete club. In November 2015, LeBron bought a 9,350 square foot mansion in LA's Brentwood neighborhood for just $21 million. In November 2017, LeBron plunked down another $23 million for another house in Brentwood. He also owns one of the most expensive homes in the Cleveland area, which is custom built and valued at $9.5 million. It features 20 rooms and 30,000 square feet of living space. In 2012, LeBron decided to invest in a pizza startup called Blaze Pizza. He currently owns at least 21 Blaze Pizza franchises, and the company is one of the fastest growing restaurant chains of all time. LeBron's equity in the company is valued at $40 million. LeBron also owns 2% of Liverpool FC, and his stake in that is valued at another $40 million. At number 6, we have possibly the greatest boxer of this generation, Floyd Mayweather, with a net worth of over $565 million. His total career earnings top $1.1 billion. He is the 5th highest paid athlete of all time and one of just 6 athletes whose career earnings are over $1 billion. He earned his billion with very little endorsements, mainly from his fights. He earned over $500 million from just his last 2 fights, $250 million in 2015 after fighting Manny Pacquiao, and $300 million fighting Conor McGregor. Floyd, if he wants, can easily earn $150 to $300 million per year when he's fighting. Between June 2014 and June 2015, he earned a mind-boggling $300 million, which is $25 million per month, or $5.8 million per week, or $824,000 per day. His primary residence since 2018 is an 11-bedroom, custom-built mansion in Las Vegas that spans 22,000 square feet. He bought it for $10 million. In 2017, he spent $25.5 million on a Beverly Hills mansion. Over the last 2 decades, he's bought more than 100 cars from Tobin Motor Cars in Las Vegas and pays for his cars in all cash. He reportedly owns 16 Rolls Royces, which someone would be very lucky to own just one of them in their lifetime. He owns a $60 million Gulfstream G650, dubbed Air Mayweather. He also owns another private jet, which he bought for $30 million, which is a Gulfstream 3, which he uses for his entourage to travel in. He also owns more than 40 extremely high-end watches, and at all times is wearing at least $3 million worth of jewelry. He reportedly paid $18 million for just a single watch. At number 5, we have the late and great legend of the NBA, Kobe Bryant, who had a net worth of over $600 million before he tragically passed away on January 26, 2020 in a helicopter crash. He is considered in the top 5 greatest basketball players of all time and was an 18-time NBA All-Star, 5-time NBA champion, and a 2-time NBA Finals MVP. His father was a former player for the Philadelphia 76ers, which made him grow up to love the game of basketball. He went straight to the pros out of high school and is the youngest player in history to be drafted into the NBA. He was initially drafted by the Hornets, but was instantly traded to the Lakers in a prearranged deal. Because he was 17 at the time, Kobe's parents had to co-sign his rookie contract, which was 3 years, $3.5 million. During his NBA career with the Lakers, he earned just over $328 million in salary alone. A notable contract was a 3-year extension for $90 million. He also earned approximately $350 million from endorsements, for a total of $680 million in NBA career earnings. Notable endorsements include Nike, Sprite, McDonald's, Turkish Airlines Lenovo, Hublot, and Panini. He signed with Adidas for the first years of his career, which was in the '96 season, where the contract was 6 years, $48 million. In March 2014, Kobe purchased 10% equity stake in sports drink Body Armor for $6 million. The company then generated $400 million in 2018, and in August 2018, Coca-Cola purchased a stake in Body Armor that valued the company as a whole at $2 billion. That means Kobe's $6 million was worth $200 million. In August 2016, Kobe and business partner Jeff Staubach launched a venture capital company called Bryant Staubach with $100 million in funding. The fund was launched to invest in technology. At number 4, we have one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever play football, and that is former Dallas Cowboys quarterback Staubach, with a net worth of over $600 million. He entered the U.S. Naval Academy at the age of 19 in 1961, after spending 1 year at the New Mexico Military Institute. He then joined the Naval Midshipmen football team in the quarterback position and played his first game in 1962 when he was a sophomore in the 3rd game of the season, against the University of Minnesota. But sadly though, he lost 21-0. A few weeks later, he was given another opportunity to start, which was in the infamous Army-Navy game where President JFK performed the coin toss. Staubach ended up leading his team to a 31-14 victory over Army. The Dallas Cowboys selected Staubach in the 1964 NFL Draft in the 10th round as a future selection. He didn't end up playing professional football until 1969, where he debuted as a 27-year-old rookie. He then led the Cowboys to their first Super Bowl victory in Super Bowl VI in 1972, over the Miami Dolphins. He negotiated his own contract, estimated at around $75,000 per year for 3 years. In 1977, Staubach started his own commercial real estate business. The Staubach company worked with major businesses like AT&T, McDonald's, Kmart Corporation, and the Hospital Corporation of America. On July 8, 2008, the Staubach company was sold to Jones Lang LaSalle for $613 million. In addition to real estate, Staubach pursued other projects, such as becoming joint owners along with former fellow cowboy Troy Aikman of Hall of Fame Racing, a NASCAR Nextel Cup Series team. At number 3, we have another NBA legend, Magic Johnson, with a net worth of over $600 million. He was selected first overall in the 1979 NBA draft by the Lakers. He played point guard for 13 seasons for the Lakers and won an NBA championship and MVP in his rookie season. He was the former president of basketball operations for the Lakers. Back in 1979, when he was in college at Michigan State, he played another basketball legend, Larry Bird, in the national championship game. That game became the most watched college basketball game ever televised and launched one of the greatest rivalries in basketball history. That started the great careers for both Magic and Larry. Magic's career was cut short though in 1991 when he contracted the HIV virus. In retirement, Magic launched a business empire called Magic Johnson Enterprises. That company is valued at over $1 billion today and has given Magic a personal net worth of $600 million. In 1994, Magic paid $10 million to buy 5% of the Lakers, which he sold in 2010 for roughly $50 to $60 million. In 2010, Magic also sold his chain of Starbucks for $75 million. On March 27, 2012, Magic and a group of partners purchased the Los Angeles Dodgers from Frank McCourt for $2 billion. During his playing career, Magic only earned a small $18 million in salary. Johnson and his wife own a home in Beverly Hills in the gated section known as Beverly Park. He also owns a Tucson-style beach house in Dana Point in Orange County, California. At number 2, we have the greatest golfer of all time, Tiger Woods, with a net worth of over $800 million. Every year, Tiger earns around $50 to $60 million. Since turning pro in 1996, Tiger's earnings top $1.5 billion. He is the highest earning golfer of all time and was the highest earning celebrity on the planet for many years. He has 15 major wins, 81 PGA Tour wins, 41 European Tour wins, and 5 Masters wins. He's been ranked number 1 for more consecutive weeks than any other player and has the lowest scoring average of all time. He's been crowned PGA Player of the Year 11 times, Sports Illustrated Sportsman of the Year 2 times, and AP Male Athlete of the Year 4 times. He is widely regarded as one of the greatest golfers and one of the most famous athletes of all time. He will be inducted in the World Golf Hall of Fame in 2021, so this year. He owns a $25 million yacht named Privacy that he sometimes sleeps on during tournaments that are near the water. His PGA Tour pension plan is worth at least $20 million. He also owns a $54 million Gulfstream G550 private jet, along with a 12-acre oceanfront property in Jupiter, Florida, that is worth at least $55 million. He launched a course design business in the wake of the 2009 financial crisis. At number 1, we have the greatest basketball player of all time, and that is Michael Jordan. With a net worth of over $2.2 billion, he is a retired NBA legend, a team owner, product endorser, and an entrepreneur. During his NBA career, he only earned a total of $93.7 million in salary. He was the first athlete to earn over $30 million per year in salary during the 96-97 season, where he earned $30.14 million in base salary. He still earns around $100 million per year from endorsements and various other business ventures. Jordan earns at least $60 million every year from Nike and Jordan brand royalties. He led the Chicago Bulls to 6 NBA championships, and he was a 5-time league MVP and holds the record for highest career scoring average of all time. He was inducted into the NBA Hall of Fame on September 11th, 2009. His most famous quote is, "I've missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 300 games. 26 times I've been trusted to take the game-winning shot and missed. I've failed over and over and over again in my life, and that is why I succeed." He famously tried out for the varsity basketball team as a sophomore, but was rejected for only being 5'11". Before Jordan, the largest celebrity shoe endorsement contract in the world was James Worthy's $150,000 annual deal with New Balance. Jordan agreed with Nike to pay him $500,000 per year for 5 years. Jordan was hoping to sign with Adidas, but Nike's offer was too rich to turn down, and too much for Adidas to match. Within the first year, Air Jordan generated $100 million in revenue for Nike. Today, 58% of all basketball shoe sales are Air Jordans, and the brand generates over $2.5 billion annually. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you like this content, please hit that like button and subscribe to see more content like this. Also, we have the goal to hit 75 likes on this video, so if we can do that, I'll be giving away a $25 Amazon gift card to one lucky winner. Also, comment down below to possibly be featured as one of 5 comments in the intro of the next video. Thank you so much again, and I will see you in the next video.